I want to share a message that I heard at church on Sunday. Yes, I go to church, I did not get struck down by lightning, but I wanted to share something with you. I was listening to this message. Not only did it kind of hit me hard with my own personal life, but also my business life, because the two are intertwined, and how it affects my family and my friends, and how I look at my life and look at things that we have to deal with in our industry, this culture that we've created. I believe, and I watch this, whether I talk to friends or I sit through meetings or I've just paid attention, we've created this culture, and I can't speak for other industries, just so we're clear. I'm not any other ones. I'm going to talk about the mortgage and real estate industry. And I'm sure it happens other places, but what I feel like we've done is create this hustle culture that if you don't work 24/7 and you don't ruin your relationships with people and your family and your friends and act like you work 24/7 or put this message like you work 24/7, like somehow that's cool, then you're not good enough. There are some of us, me, and I can tell you how I am, I have a hard time turning off my brain. Sometimes I get wrapped up in what I would like to call that. Right? Like it gets me, like as hard ass as I can be, it still makes me feel bad sometimes. Like I'm not doing it. Like when I'm sitting still, I shouldn't be. Or if I want to take time to go on vacation with my family, I shouldn't be. Or go spend time with my wife, or go play golf, and disconnect. I think that's a little bit on me and a little bit on the industries that we work in, is that we make people feel better or not feeling it. And I have conversations with people, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to take, all these pre-approvals at 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock at night. I'm like, damn, man. I certainly understand that, but would you barge into their office? Are they working at 9 or 10 o'clock at night? Probably not. We have technology and automation and all kinds of things that will work on our behalf when it's not time to work. But as I was listening to this message, I'm going to share a few things with you that I think are important that kind of hit me personally. One of them was, there was a message from Solomon. He described the inability to turn your brain off, like constantly be going, as anxious striving. When I heard him say that, I'm like, okay, anxious striving. We're anxiety ridden all the time. We strive to be anxious because of our own fears that we're going to let someone down, or feel like we should be working all the time, and this is what we've been taught and what we've been told, and then we just never be still. One of the things that I listened to, and one of the things that he said about this, is about being intentional. We can get caught up as human beings in a lot of things. We are go, 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 go all the time. So we have to be more intentional about not going, right? You have to be more intentional, whether we do daily devotions in the morning and your morning routine before you get wrapped up in your day. I'm certainly not very good at it. I'm trying to be, as I, learn from all these things and start to create new routines for myself, in a devotional, and spend time listening to the word and all these different things, and just time by myself, because we get pulled in 900 different directions, whether it's family or business. As I heard the word intentional, we don't really do that enough, because what happens is this: we pour out so much to everything else, we never give back to ourselves. We never recharge the batteries or fill our cup up. And then we become no good to anyone. It's just the way it happens. No one is going to be able to last all the time and go all the time and never recharge their own batteries. But we get told that, and then people get put in the hospital. People have medical events, or they burn out. They have to spend countless hours and money on therapy. And look, I've been there. I've sat in that therapist chair. And one of the things that I wanted to get across with this is that most of the time, a lot of us believe our value is tied up in what we produce, and our value is tied up in how we perform. When you think about it, when you step outside of that and think about it, that's absolutely crazy. Most of us have families, kids, wives, husbands. They're supposed to see our value. Our time, if you're, however you spend it. Outside of that is the amount of loans that we close, the amount of transactions we close, the amount of classes we teach. We think our value is tied up in that. Don't be wrong. I know that stuff is important, but that is not what your value actually is. That may not be why God put you on this earth. And I think that I certainly struggle with that sometimes. My identity is tied up in what I do instead of my family at home. Being a role model to my son, being a husband to my wife, and taking time with her and doing things with her and turning off everything else. Would challenge you to do that for your own sake, right? Your relationship. And I'll admit this openly, I get scared to death to slow down, because if I slow down, I may get in a rut where I don't want to do anything. Here's what I have learned and what I'm trying to teach myself and what I'm, as I go through this, it's okay to slow down. It's okay to not be thinking about work all the time. Because if you do that, your other relationships could suffer. And that is going to be way more catastrophic than any loan you close or house you sell.